Welcome to part three of my Motorola Razr review. Today we're going to be talking about Android Auto versus Apple CarPlay, but first I need a haircut, so we're going to go do that. So basically the verdict is CarPlay is great, Android Auto kind of sucks, and yeah. Alright, so it is connected wirelessly, so just going to start my car. Unfortunately, my car does not have factory CarPlay, so I do have a little external display that pairs perfectly with my stock radio. This does have CarPlay and Android Auto. I use CarPlay more often, but we're going to start with Android Auto. So what I've noticed so far, the UI is sluggish compared to CarPlay, which we're going to get to in a second. My biggest thing that I do like about this is that I can customize where things are on the screen. So I use music and maps quite often. I usually use Google Maps because Apple Maps has some issues because I do use my car for work. I like that on Android Auto, you can move everything around, so I can have my Spotify controls on this side closer to me, whereas in Apple CarPlay, it's over here and it's stuck over here unless you go full screen into Spotify. What I also don't really like about this is the UI is kind of dark. Yes, I can change my maps to daytime so the maps are kind of clear. Other than that, it's kind of hard to see, especially when it's bright and sunny out. Luckily, it's kind of cloudy today, but you can't really make anything bright. It's just all dark all the time. Another thing I really like about it is that there's a notification center. Apple CarPlay doesn't have that at all. When you get notifications, it just pops up there and you might see it on your apps, but there's no notification center that gives you a summary of all of your notifications, and I like that. As far as the UI, it is really sluggish. I don't know if it's because of my third-party display, but I also tried it on my friend's Kia 2021 Kia, and it was still sluggish and just not great. It is kind of fun because there's games. You can't play them when the vehicle's in motion. Like if I start driving, it'll be like, you can't do this, but there's games you can play if you feel so inclined, I guess. Other than that, I don't really use much in it. It's basically all pretty comparable to Apple CarPlay. The one thing I will say is that Google Gemini is way better than Siri, like so much more responsive. Like, hey Google, I have to pick up my prescription, get me directions to Walgreens in Lake Orion.
Here's what I found along your route for I have to pick up my prescription, get me directions to Walgreens in Lake Orion.
That was pretty easy. The UI, it just feels really clunky and outdated compared to CarPlay. Overall, CarPlay is honestly way better. Sorry, it's way better, which as you saw. My next part of this video, I am going to do an Amazon shift tomorrow, but I'm only going to use my Android. I'm not going to use my iPhone, which is what I normally use because it just works better, especially with CarPlay. So tomorrow morning, we're gonna go on a little trip together and I'm only gonna use my Android and I'm only going to use Android Auto, and we're gonna see how that goes.